For the better part of my life, I've dreamt of the perfect space solely dedicated to my love for cycling. 3 years ago, I started putting together the pieces. Then time passed, and things changed. Now I'm at the end of another project, and I'm reminded that with a little effort, even when things change, they can also stay the same. Welcome back to the Dutchman's Den. All right, enough with the dramatics, but you know what? I can't help myself because it is a great day in the den. This project is finished, well for now, and I can't wait to show you guys. So welcome to the last video in this series of videos, the Dutchman's Den, part 2. Hey, I think I'm finally getting it. This has been quite the project, and it's had its fair share of ups. This looks amazing. And downs. So for episode 5, you're gonna get the full tour. And we're gonna go back to the original video in this series and compare what I said I was gonna do down here versus what I actually did. And lastly, we're gonna go over the final figures as far as costs for this project. And we'll go over a few lessons learned, because there were a few. You ready to see this place? Let's go. So first of all, I need to be able to display and or store up to about 12 bikes. Well, to get started, let's talk about bicycles. Goal number 1 was to be able to have storage or display for about 12 bikes, and I think we accomplished that. We got 6 here on our accent wall with the reclaimed wood as our cool backdrop, and this is pretty much where bicycles go to become artwork. But that only gets us like halfway there. We know we need room for, well, more bikes, and we talked about vertical storage as an option, and that actually turned out to work pretty well. We did that right over there. So this is another really cool product from one of my all-time favorite bicycle brands, and that's 1UP. It's kind of like a mini gantry system. Each one of these hooks is on its own set of roller bearings, so the hooks will slide super easy and individually, and the hooks can turn as needed. You can put up to 6 bikes on this one piece, so it's pretty cool. I am such a big fan of 1UP. I've been using their products issue-free for so many years now. I love the engineering. I love the fact that they're located here in Wisconsin, which is why they were the only company that I reached out to see if they wanted to partner with me on some products for this video. And I would love to tell you what their response was, but there wasn't one. Anyways, if you add up the 6 bikes on the wall, 5 bikes hanging here, my trainer over there, and then 1 bike on a floor stand, we got 13 bikes down here, which is a lot, but there's also room to grow. So, sorry, Sarah. Number 2, I need a lot of general storage. All right, next up, let's talk storage. You gotta come in here though. This is where it's at. No, seriously, you gotta come in here. All right, so here's my second favorite part of the den, the bike part storage. It makes me so happy. Everything's laid out where I can see it, so I know what I have, so I'm not gonna end up buying more parts than I actually needed. So we have bigger items like suspension forks, handlebars, seat posts, stuff like that is in bins over there. We have all of our wheels right here, and then of course we have the obligatory pile of old tires over there. Shout out to my plug on these bins. These worked out great, and you know who you are. So another storage area we have down here is this little cubby that we've never talked about. So the idea here was just a slightly hidden group of shelves where I could put a whole bunch of electronics. So camera gear, charging station, internet stuff, and then audio controls for the rest of the basement. Number 3, which is kind of the core of this whole project, is the bike shop area. I need a really good area to work on bicycles. Next, let's talk about the area that this whole project is kind of based around, and that's the bike shop. So pretty much everything you see back here was taken apart at the last Dutchman's Den, brought down here, and then rebuilt, with the exception of the slat wall, which I had to rebuy. So this flooring, which is new from the last video, is just basic 2 foot by 2 foot square carpet tiles that you literally just pull the backing off, stick it to the floor, and then it's installed. And I really, really like it. But for the purposes of this bike shop, I think we need something a little bit more durable. So I did order a really big rubber floor mat, which I think will do really well at catching things like the stands that I'm inevitably gonna be spilling all over this floor. I'm really not sure on some of the functionality of this space. Like, I don't know where the bike stand should go. I'm not sure if I need like a wall mounted stand or just how this space is really gonna work in practice. So I think it's gonna take a little bit of time to kind of get used to this space and dial it in. And lastly, number 4, I need a little lounge area. I'm thinking couches, coffee table, cocktails, place to watch YouTube, place to do live streams. Throughout this whole build, there's been one thing that I've been looking forward to the most, and it's my favorite part of the new den. Just picture it. You just finished working on your bike, you make a drink, you come on over here, you either put on a record or you sit down, put on your favorite YouTuber. A lot of cool stuff happening in this area, so let me break it down. Got this cute little fireplace that adds a little bit of ambiance and a little bit of heat in the winter. Dual screens, so that when I'm using my trainer down here, I can have Zwift on one screen and YouTube on the other. Brought in a little old school vibe with this 2-channel hi-fi stereo system with subwoofer and vinyl record player. And lastly, I needed a way to hide all the wiring in this area for audio, video, internet, lighting that's going on back here. So I designed these removable accent panels that kind of tie in with the rest of the room, will also tie in with the rest of the basement, but I can mount the TVs to them, the logo, and then once they're up, they hide all of the wiring. So now let's talk about one of my favorite things in the world, something that's very important to me, and that is lighting. And there is a lot of it going on down here. There are a bunch of different types of lights down here, but I kind of designed it so that there's 3 different modes. I call this one like dentist's office / doctor's office mode. Very bright. And then there's chill mode, which really shows off some of the cool LEDs down here. And then there's party mode, which is just, you know, kind of a lot. All right, let's talk about a couple of the things I learned throughout this process. First of all, if you're not 100% sure in the paint color choice that you've made, maybe don't buy 5 gallons worth right away. Next is how naive I was as to how much additional time it would take to film this project while trying to build this project, because that was a lot. And third, I had to learn how to break down this big project into much smaller projects so that mentally I didn't get burnt out, because there was a few times where I was done. Like I just didn't want to do it anymore. But truly, I couldn't be any happier with the way this all came out. And now that it's done, we can finally look at the total cost for the whole project. So the things that I've purchased since the last episode are the slat wall that's in the workbench area, all of the flooring, all of the materials needed to build the accent panels here in the lounge area, and then the electronics for the hi-fi system. All that stuff came to about $1,300, which means the total cost of materials for this entire project was just over $6,000. As far as the amount of time I've spent on this project, I have no idea. I've lost track long time ago. Thank you so much to everybody that's been following along. Thanks to the people that helped down here, Sara, Juls, Christian, Ryan. Appreciate you guys so much. Especially thanks to Sara for letting me spend these hundreds of hours down here on this project. I appreciate that. I really hope that you enjoyed this project. I know I have. If you want to see the whole playlist, I'll put that up here. I'm so excited for this den, but I'm even more excited to get out of here for a little bit. So I'm gonna take some of my own advice. I'm gonna get outside, get on my bike, because good things will happen. So next time you see me, I'll be on the trails. Oh, wait, I guess I'm gonna need this, aren't I? Take this guy with me here. Yeah, that'll do. Sorry. See ya.